Hey guys, this is part 8, I think, to what if Naruto was OP and neglected. In the last part, what happened was Naruto went to the old Uzumaki village that was all destroyed, and while he was there, he found the Uzumaki Eye, the Uzumaki White Eye, which is basically a dojutsu for strong Uzumaki members, and like one of the main reasons why they were destroyed and all that. They also found Karen, one of those, you know. The one, if you don't know who that is, it's the one that Sasuke uses to heal up by, biting her and all that, or drinking her blood. Anyway, yeah, and now, Naruto sent a Shadow Clone to go take them back to the village, and their next mission is that they want to find Itachi, and so, oh yeah, for all that, I want to explain the Dojutsu a little bit more. Okay, so there's levels to it, kind of like the Sharingan, where the standard, like the second and third, and like the Mangekyo version of the Uzumaki Eye. So how it works is the standard is just a white eye with a blue dot right in the middle, just a small blue dot, and that's it. And the second is it kind of starts turning into the Rinnegan a bit, where it's all white, a dot in the middle, and then kind of a like a circle around it. You know how the Rinnegan has those little circles that go all around it? I don't know how to explain it, but it's basically like that. And third one adds another circle. So two circles kind of, and a blue dot in the middle. And the kind of Mangekyo form that you can unlock by harsh training is just a pure white eye, just glowing pure white. And the abilities of it is it's really OP. Like it can steal any Keke Genkai, any Dojutsu. It can kind of like copy and paste Dojutsus without having to steal them. And just by looking at it, he can just copy it. What else? He can like even without having to use a. Okay, here. Like if he wants, like he doesn't even have to steal it. He can still use the abilities as long as he sees it. So, for example, if he sees somebody use the King of Hell summoning from the Rinnegan or planetary devastation, he can kind of copy it and use it without the Rinnegan. And this Dojutsu has no drawbacks whatsoever. And those are most of the abilities. And then there is one ability that I'll mention later when it comes into play. Okay, and so at this point, Naruto and Sasuke have been traveling everywhere, and they keep on finding Akatsuki members and asking them if they know where Itachi or just mainly Itachi is, because they know Kisame and Itachi are partners, but they don't know exactly where they are. And since Naruto hasn't really ever seen his chakra, he can't really sense them at all. And so every time they run into them and they don't get answers, they usually just like kill them or put them in genjutsu to kind of get answers out of them. And eventually they make their way to Nagato, and Nagato currently is with Konan and with Pain, and they're at their little hideout. I know Pain is Nagato technically, but I'm gonna say he's just there to just there, even though he's being controlled by Nagato. And when Naruto and Sasuke get there, at first Konan is like on guard, and Nagato is gonna attack with Pain, but he senses Naruto and realizes that he does not want to fight him, and kind of just like goes, Konan, do not attack. And at first she asks why, and Naruto said, not Naruto. Nagato says he can easily beat us with his left pinky toe. Trust me. And to this, Conan realizes that if Nagato's scared, even with Pain and with everything, that this guy, or what looks to be a kid is really dangerous. And Nagato asks, "Who are you?" And that's when Naruto says, "I'm Naruto Uzumaki, and this is Sasuke Uchiha." And as soon as Nagato hears this, he realizes that this kid is also an Uzumaki, but he realizes that he's also heard of these two names, and realizes that it must be the two demon brothers that he's been hearing about lately, and just instantly just does not want any problems with them. And Nagato asks, "Well, why exactly are you here?" And Sasuke kind of chimes in and says, "We want to know where where Itachi Uchiha is." Wait, did I accidentally say Itachi earlier? No, I'm pretty sure I said Sasuke. Okay, if I did, sorry, I meant to say Sasuke. But right now, Sasuke just asked that they want to know where Itachi Uchiha is, and Nagato at first says, I don't know where he's at." But that's when Naruto kind of like all of a sudden teleports right to him and says, "Are you sure?" And Nagato like just realizes that there's no way he can even lie to this kid, and tells him that he could possibly be at the old Uchiha compound, or not compound, hideout. I've heard that he likes to go there a lot. And Naruto like says, "Okay, thank you for the information," but then asks Nagato, "Why did you guys start the Akatsuki?" And Nagato says, "Oh my god, I keep on getting their names confused. They like sound like Naruto. Like they sound low key alike. So sorry if I keep on mixing them up a lot." And so Nagato then explains that he wants peace, and the way he thinks it should be is they want to take that peace away. That way people realize how bad it is without it and want it even more. And Naruto kind of says that's a flawed way of thinking, and like explains kind of uses talk no jutsu on him, and which changes Nagato, and Nagato realizes that he's been doing this the wrong way. And Naruto says, "You should join up with me. Come to our village. It welcomes anyone." And then Nagato says, "I wish I could, but I'm on the brink of death. Just look at me." And Naruto look, and just like, you know how he looks like. Have you seen the anime? Like he just like looks really unhealthy. And Naruto says, "I have an idea, but I'm gonna need your help in a way." And then Nagato says, "How?" And he's heard of a ability with the Renegon that you can kind of like heal anyone no matter what. Or no, he says, "Why don't you use your Renegon? I've heard that it can heal anyone back to normal." And Nagato then says, "Well, if I could, I would, but I can't really move." And Naruto would think and go, "I got an idea." This is when he says, "But I'm gonna need your help for this." And Naruto goes, "How so?" And Naruto says, "Well, let me just show you what I can do." And yeah. And then he goes up to Nagato and is about to touch his eye, but that's when Konan kind of like stops and goes, "What are you doing?" And Naruto says, "Don't worry, I'm not going to take it. What's called here? Let me show you what I'm going to kind of do." And then Naruto said, Naruto kind of like shows him that he can, or that him and Sasuke have the exact same Sharingan, and they don't know like how they have the exact same. And Naruto says, do you realize how I can activate it?" And kind of like scrolls past all the dojutsu he has, and Nagato is just in shock that he has so many dojutsus that he can just activate and deactivate at will. And Nagato says, "Are you an Uchiha and a Hyuga?" And Naruto says, "Nope, I'm not any one of them whatsoever." And this shocks Nagato even more, that he's not even any of them, yet he can deactivate and activate it. And Naruto says, "Well, just watch this." Goes up to him, and at this point they're kind of just forced to trust him. And Naruto touches Nagato's right eye, and then closes his eyes, and when he opens them, both the Renegons are in his eyes, and Nagato Conan sees that Nagato still has his Renegon, but Naruto now has 2 Renegons as well. And then all of a sudden, Naruto just deactivates them, and they're just like, he just deactivated the Renegon. And then Naruto activates it again and shows him that he can activate and deactivate at will. And first they think maybe it's just some kind of like fake, and until Naruto summons the King of Hell, and they realize that he's using all the abilities that come with it as if it was nothing. It almost looks like he's not even tired, or has no drawbacks. And he just starts using all of them and showing them that he already basically has full control of the Renegon. And Naruto then goes inside the King of Hell, and without it, like, healing him up, he kind of just puts a mark on it, or a mark on, like, inside of it, so he can teleport inside of it whenever. Then he goes up to Nagato, holds him, and this kind of like teleports Nagato into it. And then the King of Hell just basically heals him all the way up, and he's able to walk, everything, even with everything, because of how strong Naruto is. He has complete control. It's just like a buffed version of everything. He basically has an OP version of everything that can do anything. And Naruto and Nagato's kind of back to normal. He can, like, yeah, it's just like as if he's back at the I think the Rain Village, I think it was, like, as if he was back there. And by the way, all the, the what's it called, land of demons, or Naruto's village has grown by a lot. Like, there's a lot more new people, a lot more stronger ninja. That the Snow Village has decided to actually move there because they've heard that it's 10 times bigger, and they can help expand it, and it'll just be a lot easier. So instead of them kind of having just a contract between them, now they're just conjoined, and it's like, yeah, it's just the 2 villages. So technically, it's the Snow Village, but also just like the Village of Demons, I guess you can call it. And so, yeah. So at this point, they're just conjoined. And the Hidden Village, again, nobody knows that Naruto and Sasuke are actually staying there for sure. So they, like, don't really suspect anything of it, but just know that that village is trying to gain a lot of popularity. And pretty soon they're gonna invite it to their next Kage summon, whatever it's called. Where all the Kages of different villages, or the big villages, have a meeting. And so, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke have done all that, and they brought back Nagato, Konan, and technically Pain, for that way Pain can also fight and protect and all that. And so, yeah. And then Naruto soon goes into, or Naruto and Sasuke go into the Uchiha hideout to find Sasuke, and Kisame doesn't let Naruto go in, and Kisame kind of underestimates Naruto because, Naruto's pretty tall now, but, like, Kisame just thinks of himself a little bit more higher in the situation. He's heard so many things about Naruto, but still. And Naruto says, okay, Sasuke, I think you can handle him. And that's when Kisame just lets Sasuke go. And the whole entire encounter doesn't happen like in canon where Sasuke's under Genjutsu and thinks he killed Itachi, but, none of that happens really, because as soon as Itachi tries, Sasuke kind of like breaks out of it. And they go kind of straight to fighting, and I completely forgot to say how Naruto and Sasuke, they both have a Susanoo. And Sasuke still has his normal, his like canon version of his Susanoo. It's, Indra's arrow, all that. and Naruto has kind of a golden, like a yellowy, fiery red kind of Susanoo, where it's like it just glows violently with red, and somebody suggested that he has a spear, but I think I'm gonna give him kind of a spear that he can use either as a sword or to just throw, and he also has a little bit of a shield that, like, he basically has the ultimate defense and the ultimate attack or offense, and it can kill a lot of people pretty easily. And so automatically Itachi activates his Mangekyo Sharingan, and then he also activates his Susanoo. And Sasuke does the same thing. And remember, Sasuke doesn't actually want to kill Itachi, but he wants to show Itachi that how strong he is, but isn't going to kill him at all. And so when Sasuke then activates his Mangekyo, but then Itachi sees that it's Shizui's. Like, you can still see the pattern, because pretty sure no matter what, it's always going to look like Shizui's Mangekyo, unless he unlocks the internal by stealing Itachi's, which he's probably not. And that's when Itachi asks, "How did you get that?" And Sasuke says, "Well, I got it from Danzo." And they start kind of fighting, and Itachi thinks, but he has it in both eyes. How is that possible? Danzo only had one. And Sasuke explained to Itachi that he's already killed Danzo, him and Naruto. And in the middle of fighting, like, Itachi sees that Sasuke is actually overpowering him, even when Itachi's like trying harder. Every single time he buffs up, Sasuke does the exact same thing and is always a little bit above him. And Itachi realizes that Sasuke has genuinely gotten strong, and goes all out, or not all out, but and Sasuke just always able to keep up with him, but he doesn't try to attack at all. He just kind of uses his defense and only attacks a little bit when he has to. And Naruto, oh my god, I kept wanting to say Naruto. And Sasuke explains to Itachi while fighting that he knows the truth, and that he knows that he did it for the leaf, and that he doesn't actually want to fight him. And that's when Sasuke deactivates his Susanoo, and Itachi decides to do the same thing, and they talk it out a bit. And Sasuke, oh my god, again, sorry you guys. And Sasuke goes, "I've shown you how strong I am, and I've done it without using hatred. I've just changed all that hatred into love and care, and and all the good things, and that he doesn't want to use hatred. He just wants to protect the people that he cares about, and that includes Itachi." And Itachi hears this and realizes that his role's over. I think it's safe to say that Sasuke is strong now, strong enough to take care of himself and all that, just like how he wanted to. And that's when Itachi also breaks the news to Sasuke that he has an illness that will probably kill him in a few years. And Sasuke goes, "That's okay, I have an idea." And again, Sasuke doesn't have complete control over the Rinnegan like Naruto does. He still kind of has it like how he has it in canon, where he can use a lot of it, but he can't use every single ability, and if not, he can't use, like a whole bunch of them over and over again. He has to take a break and all that. So then Naruto, oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, Naruto. I forgot to explain that him and Kisame have been fighting, and kind of like, or they're about to fight, and kind of like how I forgot that one movie where, or hold on, let me explain what happened before. So again, Kisame is kind of cocky that he can beat Naruto, and Naruto says, "That's a nice sword. I'll probably take it by the end of this." And he says, "But for now, I have a little sword of my own," and pulls out his katana, and it was called. He says, "I want to test something out, and hopefully by the end of this, you should be some nice sushi." And that's when Naruto kind of throws his katana up in the air, and just like that one movie scene, I forgot which movie it was, but there's this one girl that was crying, and a tear was falling down her cheek, and like all of a sudden it fell and was gonna hit the ground, like it was falling to hit the ground. And in between that time, Naruto was able to run and catch her like mother figure. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll play the clip right now.
お願い助けてナルト兄ちゃんお願い助けて僕たちのパパとママ愛してるわ私の大切なナルト君
And yeah, so it's exactly like that scene. So what else? So yeah, he throws it up into the air, and before it even hits the ground, Naruto's just able to go there and just use a whole bunch of taijutsu. And by the time the katana hits the ground, right up, like it sticks into the ground, Kisame just like all of a sudden like blinks his eyes, and when he opens them, he's just on the ground, almost dead. And Naruto says, "Dang, I wasn't able to kill you in time, but this should finish you off." And then grabs his sword, goes to him, and just cuts him up. And Naruto then goes, "See, I told you I'd get this." And then he picks up his sword, which is a Samehara or Had. I forgot what it's called again. I had the name. I really did. Let me try to think real quick. I think it's Samehada, right? I'm pretty sure. Either way, he grabs his sword and yeah, kind of like, cause he has all of his weapons sealed, and so that way, whenever he like just touches them or puts a little chakra, it just appears in his hand. And so yeah, and Sasuke brings back Itachi to Naruto, and Itachi sees that, or no, Itachi asked Sasuke how is his friend Naruto supposed to help, and Sasuke says, "Trust me, Naruto has something for everything. If he can beat me within a few seconds, imagine what he can do." And Itachi hearing this, that like Sasuke was stronger than Itachi at this point, and Naruto was stronger than Sasuke by a long shot, he kind of puts his trust into Naruto. And by the time he gets there, Sasuke explains the situation to Naruto, and Naruto like hears this and decides that, or then summons the King of Hell and tells Itachi to get in there. And at first Itachi's just like, "What is this?" And Naruto explains that it's the King of Hell, and that if you step into him, he'll fix you right up no matter what. And Itachi decides to trust him and goes into it, and then comes out and he just feels brand new. Like he just feels better. He feels more alive. And so yeah. Okay, I forgot to also explain in between the time that that Sasuke and Naruto went to go find Itachi, the Sage of Six Paths actually talked to them. Naruto already knew this, but Sasuke didn't. But Sasuke takes it pretty well and is proud of, or the sage is proud of Sasuke for not um, letting his jealousy and his hatred take over and staying with Naruto this whole entire time, and thinks that he's ready to inherit his Rinnegan. But that's when Sasuke says, "I already have a Rinnegan," and activates his. And the Sage of Six Paths is impressed that he's able to activate and deactivate it on will. But that's when he asks, "Wait, how did you get them in both eyes, and how can you deactivate them and activate them?" And that's when Naruto kind of chimes in, because they aren't separated like in like how they are in canon. They're together, and Naruto says that, "Oh, I basically did that. I copied someone named Nagato, his Rinnegan, put them into myself and Sasuke both, and then kind of embedded it using some of my chakra and made it our own, so now we can deactivate it." And that's when Naruto kind of shows the sage that he can just deactivate and activate any of his dojutsus that he has. And yeah. And I'm gonna say at one point Naruto wanted a Byakugan just to have all of them, and decided to teleport to the village late at night, find Hinata, and kind of just like copy her Byakugans, and then get back to the village by using the ceiling mark, whatever it's called, or the flying Raijin, or and yeah, and the sage is fairly impressed. So instead, what he does, he gathers all the chakra he could, just enough so he can give half of it to Sasuke and half of it to Naruto, which does buff them up by a lot, and gives them the ability to go into the six path sage mode that Naruto was able to in the war arc, and they can basically do this whenever now, because yeah, I'm just making it like that. And Naruto also, and the sage tells Naruto to look out for a creature called Black Zetsu that over generations has manipulated the reincarnations of Indra into kind of mainly becoming evil and stuff like that in some way or form, and says that you need to find somebody that was in the Akatsuki that is being manipulated by him currently. And Naruto agrees to all this. And right now, Toby or Obito, he's basically in control in this version. If he wasn't before, I'm actually not really sure about that much, because everything about Obito kind of confused me. I'm not even gonna lie, like it was really confusing to comprehend him and all that. By the way, so now come back to current time, and Naruto says, Sasuke, goes, Sasuke, lead Itachi back to the village. I have a mission to do. And Sasuke goes, what do you mean? And Naruto says, it's the mission the old man gave me. And Sasuke remembers how, he told him about Obito and goes, is he here? And Naruto says, yes, I can handle him. Just take Itachi back. And Itachi's just like, what is he talking about, Sasuke? And Sasuke goes, I'll explain to you on the way. And they go off, and Sasuke explains that we're contacted by the sage of Six Paths, the creator of ninjutsu. And Itachi's like, what? And yeah, and Sasuke goes, yeah, and there's a certain mission he wanted us to do, but I'm taking you back. And Naruto says he can handle it. And he says, what is that mission? And he goes, your one teammate Toby or Obito and Oscar. By the way, yeah, the sage gave or told Naruto the name, and that he's in the Akatsuki and wears a mask. So Naruto knows that it's probably him, and and Itachi hears this and says, "Are you sure you can take him on? I know that he's really strong. He may not look or act like it, but he is." And Sasuke then goes, "Naruto can handle it. Trust me. He doesn't even have to try most times. He's never tried, even against all the Akatsuki members." And Naruto and Tachi's really impressed that apparently Naruto's this strong, and they kind of go off. And Naruto then teleports to Obito, and at this point the black Zetsu or the white Zetsu, whatever, the kind of mix for it's like half black and half white around that little plant cage thing. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, he's basically he just ran away already, and Obito's just there, and that's when Naruto kind of teleports and goes, "Hello, Obito Uchiha," and that's when he looks behind him and goes, "How do you know that? Or who are you?" And no, he knows who he is, but like he'll say, "How'd you get here so fast?" And Naruto says, "Don't even try to call me away. I saw you earlier. If you can, or even if you do, I can still follow you." And Naruto then kind of teleports back and puts a mark on him, like as quick as possible, just in case he does come away. And what's called as, and then as soon as he tells him this, they start fighting, and this fight lasts is like a while, like a few days. And again, Naruto's not trying; he's just trying to like convince Obito at this point, and knows that Obito isn't really evil. That he just went, or he has like the wrong ideas. And Obito is like all worn out and tells him, "How? How are you keeping up with me? How can I not even beat you? How can I not hit you?" And that's when Naruto says, "Well, it's pretty easy when you're in a genjutsu." And that's when Obito goes, "A what?" And all of a sudden, like everything kind of starts breaking apart, and Obito like opens his eyes and go in the World War and goes, "Where am I? How?" And that's when he sits up and he goes, "How did you put me in a genjutsu? How did I not notice?" And Naruto says, "Well, for the most part, I can put basically anybody in a genjutsu, and most times you can barely even notice. And again, don't try to call me away, because I copied your Sharingan. I have the same dimensions as you, or same comedy dimension as you now." And Obito realizes that he's screwed and says, "Well, what do you want?" And Naruto says, "Well, I already took a look at all your memories, and man, that was pretty traumatic, wasn't it?" And then says, "But you have the wrong idea, Obito. You don't have all the information." And that's when Naruto puts his hand on Obito's head, and what's called, I'm gonna say that Kakashi once told Naruto that all of his friends and family, or all of his close friends and family, are basically dead. Everybody that he's ever really cared about, and except for my guy, of course, And that's when Naruto kind of like at one point when Kakashi was sleeping, took a look at all his memories because he really wanted to know more about Kakashi and why he's like this, and what he meant about all of his close friends and families were already dead, or for most part, except for technically Minato, because he's still a sensei, but Kakashi doesn't really respect Minato as much because he knows what he's done to Naruto and how he treated Naruto. And what else? Yeah, and so Naruto would kind of give Obito technically all of Kakashi's memories and show what happened from Kakashi's point of view, and that's when Obito realizes that it was all a mistake. Kakashi never meant to. He never wanted to break his promise. He didn't mean to kill Rin at all. Rin just jumped into his Chidori, and yeah, that's when Obito realizes all the things that he's done wrong, and that Naruto also gives him what the sage said about the Black Zetsu, and he also realizes that Zetsu has been manipulating him and Madara this whole time, just to revive his thankfully mother. I forgot her name. Kaguya. Yeah. And yeah. Naruto says, "Well, do you want to come back to my village? It welcomes everybody, anyone and everyone." And Obito would agree, but would kind of feel bad. And Naruto says, "It's okay. You had the wrong ideas and made a mistake. Now is your time to redeem yourself. Come join us." And Obito would agree. And what else? Yeah. And I'm gonna say that all the Kages have gone to the summit and has decided to invite the Kage of the demons, or basically the village that Naruto's in, like the Kage, and they'll get this invitation, but that's when Naruto would ask, "Who should we have go? We don't have a Kage right now. Who should be the Kage of our village?" And everybody wants Naruto to be the Kage because they've seen how strong, how smart he's the main reason why everyone is here and why they're all together. And that's when Naruto says, "I can't right now. There's still one more thing that I want to do before I become a Kage, and yeah, and I can't really do it if I become a Kage already." And they decide that, and that's when what is it called? Yeah, basically they decide to have a stand-in Hokage, that like a temporary Hokage, kind of like, here's a good example, like kind of how Danzo was for a while, when Tsunade was out of commission. I'm pretty sure. I just remember Danzo was at one point a stand-in Hokage. So either way, yeah. But after, and Naruto explains what the goal is, and that he'll be their Kage afterwards. And it's been like around 2 years or so, and the Chuunin exams from before, how before Naruto came to the village, there was a Chuunin exam, and all his friends basically became Chuunings or Jonings or higher, and I'm gonna say those were canceled for a reason. I'm too lazy to think of one. But yeah, those were basically cancelled, and Naruto actually wants to participate in them along with Sasuke and Sakura. And again, Sakura is not useless in the timeline, not anymore. She has trained under Naruto, Tsunade, and Naruto has gave her scrolls and things to train while they were gone. And yeah, and so basically they're invited to their next summon, which is like a week from when they got it, and they prefer friend. Naruto just so it's basically the Kage now. I'm just gonna make up some random not person, like a good ninja that's pretty strong, that will just be the, like, to show, or basically like the pretend Kage, because Naruto's still gonna be in control and telling him what he should do and stuff, but the guy is gonna like basically pretend to be the Kage on the outside, I guess. And he's still a strong ninja, the one that's pretending. I'm just gonna say it's somebody that Naruto found that's older and that he trusts. And yeah, so Naruto would then teleport him, Sasuke, and and the random guy, and they would all walk in. The guards would ask, "Who are you?" And they would say, "I'm the and the guy would say, "I'm the Kage of the." What should the Kage name be? Because I don't have a good name. But yeah, anyway, he would explain that he's the Kage of the land of demons, I guess, for now. What should the village name be too? Because I also don't have a good name. I might want it to be related to demons, but it could honestly be anything. And so yeah, Naruto and Sasuke would both have masks on just to not be recognized, and they'll and Naruto at least would have a hood on just so nobody sees his golden hair, because a lot of people would automatically recognize him because of that. And yeah, they go to the Kage summon, and the guy would introduce himself and say that, I'm Kage, or I'm the Kage of the land of demons, but I'm only temporarily. And they ask, what do you mean by that? And he says, well, there's someone else that's technically is the Kage, but that will become Kage soon enough, but he has some things that he has to do before, or that he wants to do before he's officially the Kage. So I'm just a step in, but I'm still technically the Kage, if that makes sense. And they all hear this and they're fine with it, because they know that they know what like a step in Kage and what it like basically means to be one. And yeah, so they begin the meeting, and they ask if he wants to be known as one of like the great villages, and of course they agree, and they just discuss a whole bunch of things. And before they go, the Kage would ask if they could participate in the Leaf's Chuunin exams, and the Leaf would decide that they can participate, and also being there, and would explain the rules. And Naruto and Sasuke would already know all of them, or explain to them what they had to do, and Naruto and Sasuke would already know, everything. And so they go back, but before they're past the gates to outside the village, Naruto makes a shadow clone, or two of them, one of himself, and turns one of them into Sasuke. And Sasuke and Naruto, kind of like in an instant, like run away, and Naruto grabs Sasuke and makes a shadow clone at the same time as he teleports to Sakura, because he put a mark on her. And Sakura's currently training with Kakashi as well, not just Tsunade, because that's still technically Team 7. Just, they have a few more. Sorry. I'm like really tired right now. And they have a few, new ninja teammates. They're not as strong as Naruto or Sasuke, of course, but, they're still fairly strong. And Kakashi, tells. Oh, right now it's only Kakashi and Sakura, I'm gonna say. And as soon as they appear, Sakura and Kakashi are just like, it's Naruto, and it's also Sasuke. And they run to them and go, what are you doing here? And how did you get here? And Naruto will explain that we're here for the Kage summon. And Kakashi will go, wait, you're Kage now, Naruto? And Naruto says, not yet, but I'm technically the Kage of the land of demons, where me and Sasuke live. And Kakashi goes, oh, I see. And Naruto says, yeah, I'm gonna take part in the Chuunin exams that are coming up this year, and I want, and I was also here to pick up Sakura, and Sasuke also just wanted to come to see her right away. And as soon as Sasuke and Sakura meet, they hug each other, and uh, Sakura gives Sasuke a little like kiss on the cheek, and of course Sasuke blushes, and Naruto kind of laughs at this, but kind of like forgets about it. And Kashi asks, "What do you mean pick up Sakura?" And Naruto would explain that Sakura wanted to come back to the land of demons with us and live with Sasuke. And Kakashi would hear this and be sad that his team's kind of gonna move out of the leaf, but still kind of respects it. And Naruto goes, well, Kakashi, if you want, you can also come with us too. And Kakashi thinks about this, but he's still not 100% sure. And yeah, and that's when Naruto says, or gives him kind of a kunai. Says, just put chakra into here if you ever want to see me, or if you ever want to like come to us. But can you at least come with us just for a few minutes? There's someone at the village that's been wanting to see you really badly. And Kakashi asks who, and that's when Naruto says, well, he doesn't want me to tell you just yet. Just come with us and you'll see. And Kakashi agrees, and Naruto takes Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke back to the village. And should I make Kakashi stay at the Leaf Village or leave? Because he's gonna see Obito right now, and so I'm not sure if he should stay at the Leaf or go with them. What do you guys think? And so as soon as they get there, Naruto leads Kakashi to Obito, and Obito has a mask on right now, and Kakashi looks at him and says, "Naruto, watch out," because he's seen Obito before, but with the mask on when the Nine Tails attacked. And man, I really am sleepy. And either way, so he sees this and tells Naruto to be careful that there's the masked man is behind you, and Naruto says that's the man that's wanted to see you, and Kakashi's confused and says, "What do you mean?" And that's when Obito takes off his mask to reveal his face, and as soon as he does that, Kakashi instantly recognizes him, but doesn't believe it and says, "Obito?" And Obito kind of just smiles and goes in for a hug, and they kind of hug each other. And Kakashi just this point he's crying or he usually never cries about things, but this is the one time that he's kind of let out a few tears, not bawling, but he's just he's crying. And yeah, and Obito says, "Hello, old friend." And Kakashi says, "I thought you were dead, Obito. I'm sorry I couldn't protect Rin." And Obito says, "I know, I saw everything." This makes Kakashi sad that Obito saw what Kakashi did, but then Obito says, "I know it's not your fault. Naruto showed me. I wanted to take revenge, but it's okay now. I know that you just wanted to protect her, that she jumped in front of you, that she wanted to die right there and then, and that I forgive you." And Kakashi's really happy about this, and yeah. So at this point, Kakashi still doesn't know if he wants to stay in the village, or stay with the Hidden Leaf or go with Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Obito, but tells Naruto if he wants to come, or if he decides that he wants to stay or go with them, then he'll activate the kunai by putting chakra into it. And yeah, so Kakashi goes back, and Naruto says, "We'll see you pretty soon, as I'm going to be participating in the Chuunin exams again, along with Sakura and Sasuke." And Kakashi agrees. And that's where I'm going to leave off this part. Hope you enjoyed. Again, tell me if I should have Kakashi stay in the Hidden Leaf or go with Naruto, and And yeah, happy Halloween. Unless I upload this the next day, then happy No Nut November. Wish you guys good luck, and see ya in the next video, which should be uploaded, I don't know when, cause yeah, I'm recording this on Halloween day, or Halloween night, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload this the next day or if I'm gonna upload it just late at night. So either way, see you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe, share, all that, and see ya in the next video. Peace.